Hey guys, today I'll be teaching you everything you need to know about jungle starts, when to do them, and a trick not even pro players know. There are two jungle starts in the game, the speed start and the scorpion start. It seems simple enough, you pick one and follow the dedicated route and you're good to go, right? Wrong. There's multiple factors into deciding which jungle start would be the best one for you to go for, and it can severely impact the game if you choose wrong. Before I go into detail, I'll show you both jungle routes as well as the worst possible start that everybody was tricked into doing. I'll start off with the Scorpion start first, as it will make more sense when I cover the speed start. You want to start Harpies into Scorpion, meeting your main laner at red buff and Cyclops. Well, let's assume that I have a main laner here. Then you run over to speed buff, pick up the Warming Harpy, and then drag it to the Cyclops camp to where your main laner should meet you at. Then, when you clear all of that together, you both hit level 3. Then you want to go to the oracles at 1 minute 30 seconds to when it spawns, and then you're good to go. Now I'll cover the speed start, and here's where 90% of people already fail. Alright, so I've seen so many people start speed buff itself, and this is the one that has been recommended to so many people to do, and this is the default start where people go into speed into back harpies, then they went over to the Cyclops camp with the main laner, clear red, and then go to the back camps. This is known as the bad speed start, and doing it can easily get you punished. It's cruel how it's still being recommended by people that don't know the ins and outs of jungle. It is a complete noob trap, and there is no reason to ever do this start. Instead, you should start speed like this. You want to start the Cyclops camp above speed, run over to your speed, clear it, then run over to do Cyclops and red buff with your mid laner. This is the best way to start speed side by far, and I'll explain why. If the other jungler does the Scorpion start, then he will show up at the oracles while you show up at the mid buff. If your mid laner didn't clear the Cyclops camp, then the enemy jungler can easily invade your Cyclops plus your back harpies, and there's almost nothing you can do about it since you're clearing the mid buff. If you start the Cyclops camp first, then the other jungler won't have the opportunity to invade. I'll show you an example in this clip where the enemy did this bad speed start. I know the other jungler started speed, so I simply invaded his camps before he was able to come over. Now this is where the Scorpion start truly shines over the speed starts. I'm now in position to gank / pressure the duo lane. This forces the enemy duo lane to either run and give up pressure in the lane or let me gank them. Even if I cannot get a gank in, I can still run to my back camps and get my farm. Now you may be wondering, how was I able to know the other jungler started speed buff when I had no vision on them? That's because I'm doing an advanced trick that I learned myself that not even pro players are doing. All I did was check the gold count when the game started. If you look here, I'm pulling up the scorecard to check the enemy jungler's gold count. I noticed the gold isn't matching mine, which tells me they are doing the bad speed start, and now I'm able to approach the first 2 minutes with a solid idea of how I want to play it out. If the gold count had instead matched mine, then I would know that they're doing the exact same start that I am doing, which means we'll be running into each other at the same neutral camp. Now I'll cover the most important factor of deciding which jungle start that you should do, and that is matchups. Specifically, the 2v2 matchup in the jungle and mid. Whoever your mid laner is will play a huge part in what you want to do. When looking at the 2v2 matchup, there are two things to consider: your fight potential and your camp secure. Fight potential being how likely we are to win the 2v2 if we fight it out, and camp secure being who has the higher chance of securing the mid camps. Fight potential. Before the game even starts, take a look at your god, your mid laner's god, and the gods of the enemy jungler and mid. Think about how the level 3 fight could probably play out, and if you think you guys cannot win the 2v2 brawl, then you probably shouldn't take that fight. Camp secure. Another important thing to consider is camp secure. How well are you able to outsecure the enemy if you both end up at the same camp? Things like higher ability damage, for example, Ross first ability, and crowd control, example being Thor's stun, can decide who gets the camp even if you cannot win the 2v2 fight. I'll show an example of a game I played versus pro players solo or troll. Go follow him on Twitch, by the way. And I'll break down the matchups and why I played it out the way I did. So in this game, I'm playing Mercury jungle, and their jungler is Sat, who is playing Uller, which, mind you, he is one of the best Uller players in the world. So I'm very, very cautious here. Now, if you look at our 2v2 matchups, it is me as Mercury and the Merlin mid. They have a Vulcan and an Uller. Our fight potential is actually pretty nice. However, it could also be a bit scary considering Vulcan's turrets can be very impactful in the fight. Our 2v2 is probably more favorable if my Merlin had more HP, but somehow he doesn't have HP. Now, if he was full HP, we could probably take this fight, considering Mercury's level 3 is very, very strong. However, that's just our fight potential. If you look at our camp secure, the only secure ability that we have is my 1. And I only have 1 point in it. And if you look at their gods, they have Uller and Vulcan. And Uller and both stance can 3-1 the camp for a really good secure, like 400 damage secure. And Vulcan has his meatball plus 1 combined together. So we can never ever out-secure these guys here. And if we play it out here, and since I did the count and gold trick, I knew that the jungler was going to show up here. I throw my flare out and you're up there right here. And the thing is, and what I'm doing here is I'm not going to take this fight at all. Now this is kind of blurry to see, but I don't want to take this fight because of the camp secure. And the potential for us to kill is not the best. Now the only way we could ever win this is if we go on the Vulcan, but it's a bit too risky. So instead of combating them on the Oracles, I instead went all the way over here. Because if I contest this Oracle camp, we most likely will not get the camp because their secure is way, way better than ours. Because like I said, Ulu 3-1, Vulcan 3-1, there's no way in hell that I can ever out-secure them. So instead go for the guaranteed play, which is this mid buff. Now going for this mid buff may feel a bit bad because if I go over here, then there's no camp to do on the left side. However, if I were to have contested this camp instead, we will most likely lose it. And if I want to come over here to contest a mid buff, they'll also follow me over. And the chances of them getting this buff is also very, very likely for them, considering their camp secure is just way better than ours. So if I go to contest Oracles, I will most likely lose it. And if I run over to contest this red buff, I'll most likely lose it as well. So I will lose both mid camps most likely. And the only thing that I will have left is to either split a wave or get these back camps. So why take the losing situation and instead go for a safer, more guaranteed play, which is this red buff. And now when we're both here, I'm over here on this left side and this Lulu's on the right side, which means there's nothing else for me to do. So I instead take this opportunity to look for getting a solo lane while telling my dueling to be careful. And what do you know, this Zulu's still in the right side. Now, this feels kind of bad. Like, this isn't ideal that I went for this camp just because a good enough jungler will recognize that I'm not here and they can just invade my back camps. And that also goes in line with what I said earlier, where if you do the bad speed start and a good enough jungler does the scorpion start, they can just invade your 2 camps and then gang dual lane. That pretty much breaks down the first 2 minutes of this game. We get the gank off, I warn my teammates, and just continue on from here. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you learned something new here. Follow me on Twitch. I'll be streaming for 12 hours on most nights, so you can drop by to say hi and earn drops while you go to bed. I'll be back on daily uploads until the end of the month when my new PC arrives, and when it does, I will be pushing for 2 videos per day. Have a good day, and I'll see you all next time.